Hi everyone, my name is Camille Yusay from the Ateneo de Manila University in the Philippines. I will be presenting a research study on the interpretive phenomenological analysis of embodied drug use and recovery of Filipino women. In the recent years, prevalence rate gap of drug use between men and women has started to narrow. And despite this, a number of studies, both international and local, are directed at understanding and managing substance use universally, and particularly those among men. In the Philippines, majority of published data on drug use are primarily of Filipino males, and data on Filipino women are scarce. Scholars have argued the importance of examining gendered experience of drug use, particularly of women, since they face distinct yet unexamined challenges such as vulnerabilities to infectious disease, violence, and face greater stigma due to gender norms. I draw insights from an embodied and gendered approach to drug use to reconstitute a critical phenomenological lens to conceptualize drug use as an embodied experience grounded in contested sociocultural spaces where being a female drug user is reconstructed. Women's personal and diversified experiences of drug use and recovery can be fleshed out using Smith and colleagues' interpretative phenomenological analysis that is both idiographic and interpretative in phenomenology. Flashed on the screen is the research question. Specifically, I unpack the experiences and constructions of the female body in the context and spaces of drug use initiation and recovery. To answer the research question, I interviewed 16 urban poor Filipino mothers who completed community-based drug rehabilitation in their respective communities. You can see on the screen the summary of themes that resulted from the data collection and analysis. These highlight how the lived bodies of drug-using women inhabit the spatiotemporal fields of drug initiation and recovery. Here, I unpack the constructions of the female lived body from their start of use as they stay hooked and as they navigate through spaces of drug use, both public and private or intimate spaces. The accounts also described how the exposure of their drug use has led to a strained home and parent-child relationship and how they were able to deal with it by stopping their drug use through decoupling relations and avoiding spaces of drug use that eventually led to healing. I unpack these themes further by sharing direct quotes from the participants in the next few slides. In their drug initiation phase, they try to balance the positive and negative effects of drug use in their lives and bodies. And as they do this, they navigated through different spaces as they continue their drug use, such as the public spaces in the community as well as the intimate spaces of the home. But because their spaces at the home are limited given to their socioeconomic background, eventually they are exposed, especially to their children. And this created strained parent-child relations, as mentioned by Nora. She said that my children, they are not listening to me anymore. My last born caught me and it turns out that the window wasn't closed. And she mentioned that the child didn't talk to her. It was so hurtful that your children have lost their respect for you because of drugs. As their masks were stripped off, they were forced to take a hard look at themselves as mothers and are forced to find ways to stop their drug use, such as decoupling from relations that encourage drug use and avoiding spaces of drug use, of which they learned in the community-based drug rehabilitation program that was available in their local community and wherein they were called to join the program. This provided them the space to work on their recovery and rehabilitation. CBDR, as well as the strong motivation to change for their children, enable them to free the spaces in their lives that was once for drug use so that they can have more room for livelihood or work. And as this basic and most essential element is addressed, they now focus on other aspects of their lives, such as healing the relationships with their children. So some participants express a lightness of being and feeling at ease, and stopping drug use or stopping use gave them space to literally fix their physical home and heal broken relationships, as mentioned by Annalyn. The results showed us the lived experiences of Filipino women during drug use and initiation, or drug use and recovery. With these results, theoretical and practical contributions can be derived. Specifically, findings highlight the important role of children and the availability of CBDR in the lives of Filipino women. Findings also emphasize the importance of gender-sensitive intervention designs and implementation. This study gave us a glimpse into the lives, the embodied experiences, and the spaces navigated by Filipino women who use drugs, showing us their experiences of hurt through drug use and healing through recovery, in their attempt to make a home for their family and to be the light in this home for their children. Their healing allowed them to shine brighter as mothers, as shared by Elma. Before, our light as mothers is dim, even broken. Now we have changed the light and it shines even brighter. With that, thank you very much for your time.